Hello, welcome to Game Week 6 Premier League season. Not as energetic and cheery as normal. Yeah, you can see Nick nodding his head. Oh, and he's pointing at the score as well. But you know what?
I'm not going to do any more.
You can have your time. But listen, here we are. Game Week 6, back of the net podcast. Here, if you know what I'm going to call them my fave, the regulars. I'm going to call them the regulars. Amit, Nick, what are you going to say?
Don't let Nick, you start. I'll start. I'm fine. I'm all right, man. I could be a bit better, but you know what I mean? It's okay, man. It's just football, man. It is what it is, eh? But I'm all right.
What are you saying,
I'm pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. I wasn't expecting it to be, not saying that we weren't definitely going to win, but yeah, pleasantly surprised, relieved, and just like happy to be kind of on a mini run of wins, which is what we needed after that disastrous first two games. But yeah, I'm feeling all right, mate. How are you feeling, Matthew?
I'm all right, man. For people that don't know, listen, I said on my TikTok, I kind of felt that United would beat us. I hate to be that fan that says that because people start thinking, you're just that fan, you think we're going to lose this. I'm just realistic. Any Arsenal fan would tell you, doesn't matter what form you're in, the moment you step at Old Trafford, things happen. Them shots that normally go in at the Emirates or other grounds, suddenly get scuffed, keeper saves, we know what happens. And listen, United took their chances, were clinical. I can't really complain. There are some parts that I'm going to get into the game, but you know what? I want to just say, Nick, let's start with you. Arsenal dominated. What did you think when Martinelli scored that goal? Did you think, it's one of them games?
Deserved. At that point, I thought to myself, yeah, it's deserved. It was such a good goal. And I was obviously very unhappy about Martinelli being in my FPL team. I was like, look, if Arsenal are going to score, let it be Martinelli so I can get a few points out of it. But no, I thought the game was kind of happened in spells. Arsenal overall were the better team, but I feel like you started a lot better. We scored obviously your goal was disallowed, and then we scored against a run of play really a couple of times. So I thought you guys did really, really well, but I thought Arsenal showed a lot of naivety. I thought the subs that Arteta made in the second half, you may agree or disagree, when he made the triple subs, I just felt like it didn't help you guys. But I suppose he was going for it, and he was trying to get a result. But I think when we went 2-1 up, you guys were awful after that. I thought up until that point, you were either okay or very good. And then when you got to that point where we scored the second goal, I thought you guys were awful, and you just kind of not gave up, but I don't know, you just seemed to be all over the place. And I was saying to my mate at the time, the two goals, the second and third goal, was from a high line. Arsenal playing a really high line up, and we just kind of just threaded it through with Eriksen, who is so, I've said it before, I love the guy, man. He just does things so easily and simply. But yeah, overall, very, very happy. Obviously, needed the win. Only 3 points behind you boys as well. I thought we did well in spells. Very happy. I was cussing Rashford throughout the game, even when he got the assist and goals. Something about him, I just don't. Not that I don't like him. Obviously, I just don't like him as a player. But I look back and I'm thinking, was I a bit harsh on him? But because you look, that he got 2 goals, he was involved in every goal. But no, yeah, really happy. Just need to keep going, man. Just need to keep going. I'm just glad that we're coming together and he's sticking with the same defence, and we're just getting a bit of stability.
I hear that. Nick, what about you, Amit? Obviously, it was tough for us, man, and I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans when that goal went and thought, yeah, finally, let's do this, and then VAR rolled it out. How did you feel?
You know what it was, though, as you know, it's Old Trafford, right? So, I didn't really expect us to go and win, even though on paper and all the numbers look like we were going to win. However, the Old Trafford crowd, when he got a debutant there, they're cheering everything he does and booing everything we do. Honestly, I think that it just wasn't meant for us that day. But I don't, as Nick said, I think we played quite well in spells. I think the first 10 minutes or so, it was all United. We were pressured into our box. And then we sort of grew into the game. And for me, as a fan, when we got our disallowed goal, when we scored it, I was like, yes, this is brilliant. Now let's just see, because United have to come out. They might leave gaps. But when we were disallowed, my head dropped. You know what I mean? But I know the players have sort of changed their mentality a little bit, and they didn't sort of, give into it. But And then we just were a little bit sloppy for Anthony's goal, I think. Like Zinchenko was a little bit out of position and left him with open space. And also, you must agree with me, Matt, you being a goalkeeper, Ramsdale's positioning was crazy. And also, what I noticed, I was watching the game back, I saw him run out to sort of close him down, but then he stopped, sort of hesitated, and then he dived near post. I did not understand why he did that. Like, all the space was on far post. I don't know why he decided to dive post, to the near post, and that's just opened up all the space for Anthony. And after that, I thought, okay, cool. I wasn't panicking too tough because I thought we were still in the game, and it showed because we have this bounce back ability at the moment. And when we equalised with Saka, I thought, okay, cool. Now let's go. Because in that spell, we had United on the ropes in the second half. Because if we just continued it and not sort of lost our heads a little bit, I think it was Rashford's goal was brilliant. By the way, like I love the way. Is it Bruno that passed the ball or was it Eriksen? Nick?
For Rashford, Bruno for the first.
Bruno's for the first one.
And Eriksen
that was just straight through the middle. And to be fair, I've always thought of Rashford as a centre forward, as a striker, not as a winger. I don't like him on the wing. And when you come up against any defender with Rashford's pace, it's going to be trouble, especially if you play a high line. And that's what happened. And I think Arteta panicked a little bit. He panicked a little bit when he put the 3 subs on. Because when that happened, I think the game we lost balance because we had to change formation. And United exposed us straight away. And then we just conceded a third goal through our own fault, really. But overall, I have to say, even though the result was very frustrating, I didn't feel overly disappointed. I felt a little bit encouraged because we left with a good performance. So there's definitely positive to say from that game.
I just want to add as well that the disallowed goal, I said to you boys straight away, it was harsh. Like it was.
Oh yeah.
When I saw the VAR, like technically, like you see him does kind of push him, but it's like in his side. If it was in his back or in his front, you'd say, okay, that's kind of obvious. But it was kind of in his side, and it wasn't that. What Odegaard said was it that clear and of obvious mistake? Not really. So we were very, very lucky to get away with
the
that.
The thing is, with that, I think if it was given immediately as a foul, then I wouldn't have said anything. Cool, that's fine. But because the referee let the game play on, he obviously thought it wasn't a foul, right?
Yeah.
So let's not forget, this is not a non-contact sport. This is a contact sport. He went to engage the player. You're allowed to barge, shoulder barge, whatever, from still the side. And Eriksen was, essentially, he was just weak. He was just weak on the ball. And he lost the ball. And then Arsenal were free. And that goal should have stood. And who knows what the game outcome would have been if that goal stood.
No, I'm with you. Like, for me, there's a couple of points that I want to add on. So, like, I feel, when that goal was disallowed, I felt, you know what, if you're the opposition, it kind of gives that kick up the backside type thing. You know what I mean? Like, you've let in the goal, you've been let off. All right, cool, let's go. And I kind of felt that if you look at Arsenal and United, both teams, you look at it, and there's like not much difference in terms of the talent. I feel like United's team, for me, anyway, personally on paper, is slightly better than Arsenal, slightly. And, you know, like we spoke about Eriksen and Bruno and these type of players. And I just felt that Rashford has a good record against the top 6 in general. He can have a bad season, but in general, he's good. Playing him up top, I kind of felt the way, you look at the first goal, for example, Gabriel, don't know where the hell he was going. If you're going to go out that far, you get the ball. If you don't get the ball, you foul them. Something. You don't miss the ball and then leave us exposed at the back. And I'm not going to look at Zinchenko because Zinchenko had to come for it. Unfortunately,
he had to.
I think he went through his legs, whatever. But now, Aaron Ramsdale. In that position, Alisson would have saved that. That's all I'm saying. Alisson, Ederson, who else is there? Like a Nick Pope. If you come out to that, if you come out to there, I'm not even thinking about the guys going near post because when you see them open up their body, unless they're the world-class finishers like the Harry Kanes that will do it, you kind of think he's opened it up, he's going to go there. And I thought he didn't even dive. You know, sometimes them goalkeepers dive and they miss it, and he didn't even dive that way. He dived to the near post and it's like over his leg, and I went, okay, cool, I'll let you off for that one. But then that's the problem with Ramsdale. He has them moments in games where he does these little things where I feel like it would make a big difference for us to have like a different profile of goalkeeper. However, his ball playing skills really help us. So it's kind of like, you know, and hopefully, you know what I mean, it's a balance. So hopefully over the years that improves. And I'll give United their props. They look solid. Martinez.
They look better. They look better. They look better. A lot better.
What I will say is, Martinez, this game, I know the last two he was doing well, whatever. Let's admit, Jesus bossed him in stages in this game. You know,
you know what? But I actually noticed that in the first half. Like Jesus kind of barged him and showed him that he was a bit stronger in that first half.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Couple of challenges where I was a bit surprised by Jesus' strength. They're not
saying
he's weak, but Martinez is built as well.
Amit will say as well, Jesus is that type of player. Like Arsenal haven't had that type of striker or person up top since Sanchez. Like where defenders got the ball, I'm on you. Like you ain't got time. I'm on, and that's what I think. As the season goes on, you're going to see a lot of the other players going to look and go, "Bro, we need to up this game." You know, like
that's what I'm saying.
The hassle. Let's go with him. And I feel that's the only thing we're like. But with time, listen, I'm still positive. We lost, but like Amit said, it's one of them where you come out the game and go, you know what? It wasn't like we got battered because you know 2-1. 3-1 happens because you end up going for it. You can see the goal.
I don't know. Essentially, it wasn't a 3-1 game. Do you know what I mean? The score is deceiving. But like you said, with Jesus, we haven't had a striker like that. Dude, hassle the defense.
Yeah.
For a long time, he was giving around problems, and then obviously there was. No, I don't know if you're gonna side with me here, Nick. Yeah, but boy, United got away with a lot in terms of
I agree.
The fouls were bad. The holding and throwing of players. I know it's contact sport, but that's rugby. You know, it's a whole different sport. And I see when McTominay was grabbing up, and chucking it, stuff like that. And then when McTominay pushed Martinelli into like unnecessarily, that could have caused injury because obviously Old Trafford, their pitch slopes downwards, right?
Yeah.
So like he could have pushed him off into the holding. It was unnecessary. Yeah, unnecessary aggression, and like, you know what, I felt like I don't want to look at the conspiracy theories, but I can't help but look at it and think, rah, man, these players are a little bit protected, you know, like these referees, I feel like they're just scared of making decisions, and it's not just that game. It's happening all over the Premier League. Like the VAR one, the ref initially gave that goal, and then there's no reason for VAR to get involved for that. Do you know what I mean? Because it was happening way up the pitch. And the only thing VAR really should have been used for is offsides. That's the only thing. And then, but, mate, United got away with murder. I'm telling you, there's so many yellow cards in that game I saw. How did Lisandro Martinez not get a yellow card for the first kick on Jesus in the first minute? Is beyond me. Because the only thing people say, because it was the first minute. It doesn't matter. So you're telling me I can do a 2-foot challenge in the first minute? It's okay. It's the first minute. Yeah, it has to be consistent, and they definitely lack consistency in that game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel like I'm all for roughing up opposition, and Arsenal got this reputation of rough them up. They kind of falter and whatnot. But there were times I was watching. You know what? I don't like McTominay in general. I watched that game and I thought, if I was in that tunnel, the way I would swing you, bro. I just don't like that man has the collar up thing. And he's pulling, man. He's
Eric Cantona.
He's pushing, man. I'm watching him like, I don't like.
He's just a brute. He's a brute, man. He's lucky to be there.
I'm telling you, honestly. And I just watch him, and you know what? Listen, I'm all for physicality, for like Amit said.
Yeah, for real.
Contact sport, but it gave me, you know, them not as bad as remember the battle when we were unbeaten around 49 games, and that was the worst of the worst. And
I don't want to talk about that. I can't talk about that. That kills me, man.
But you know what? I saw parts in this game when I thought, like, why is the ref not giving a yellow? Like, even I think it was McTominay that made the tackle before United went on a break. Arsenal went on a break, but he didn't even bring it back to give a yellow. And I thought, what are you doing? And I realised that's the same ref that ref the Man United Arsenal Tottenham game at Tottenham's ground when they gave that Cedric pen, or the pen against Cedric. So, like, you know what I mean? And like we said, it's all about consistency. And I don't want to harbour on about VAR, but if you're going to give that as a foul, you have to give the one in the Leicester and Brighton game when Tielemans, whatever he did.
It's the same thing.
The same thing. So that's my only issue. If you're going to give a foul in the Arsenal game, that's cool. But across the whole board, say if that happens, let's do that. But if we're not going to do that, just keep it as offsides, bro. Like, I understand there's going to be mistakes made, but over the course of a season,
But you can't. The thing is, you can't argue with offsides. If you're offside, you're offside.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
Mm.
I know, like it's. I'm thinking a lot of debates today about the use of VAR and people say, "Oh, it's clear and was it clear and obvious mistakes, right?"
Yeah.
But that's fine. But if you get a chance to look at it 5-6 times as these VAR officials do, and the referee on the pitch does, why are you still getting it wrong?
It's true.
Do you get what I'm saying? Why is it still happening? It blows my mind. Like, I know there's a review going on at the moment, but mate, I'm telling you, it's ruining the game. I'm telling you, I'm so sick of it.
I just want to add, I think you boys are going a bit over the top with the fouling situation, man. I mean, I'm not saying there wasn't mistakes made, but it wasn't that kind of game where I thought personally when I was, and I feel maybe I've missed a couple of challenges, but I know that, I tried to be as honest as I can be. I've told you I didn't think it was a foul. Martinelli's goal, I thought it was very soft. And I think McTominay and Maguire, they did professional fouls, didn't they? They proper. Did they pull someone down or foul them as they were attacking and they got they got yellows for that, didn't they? I don't know if I'm mistaken, but
that's the thing. I'm not sure if that's the case.
I was like, that is deserved. I'm not saying it. I wasn't going to say it wasn't deserved, but I'm not saying that there weren't maybe mistakes made. I'd have to see those kind of challenges again. But I didn't think at the time, oh wow, we're getting away with murder. I really didn't think that, and I think you guys. I'm not saying you guys aren't partly right, but I think maybe you guys are going a bit over the top, in my opinion. But I will look at the game again at those challenges if I can find them to see if I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying mistakes weren't made. I just feel like you're going on in a way like the referee was fully on our side and we've got everything.
No.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's fully on your side. No, I'm not saying that because as I said,
fair enough.
In football, sometimes you have to do professional fouls. I get it. Like someone's running on goal, you want to trip up. I get it. But what I was trying to say is, I think McTominay got a yellow, and I think it must.
McTominay is a brute.
Less than 5 minutes after that, he committed another foul, and I thought to myself, my personal opinion, I might be wrong. People watch this might say, oh, whatever, but in any other game, a person does that, you're off again. I'll tell you now, 100%.
If Xhaka did it,
thank you. If Granit Xhaka trips someone and then 5 minutes later did it, it's a second yellow. You know what I mean? And that's also, I just want fairness across the whole board. If you're going to give yellow to Xhaka, 2 yellows, that's fine. But across the whole board, do the same. You know what I mean? And we're going to go into a minute with the whole how VAR has affected so many games. And imagine this weekend, I've watched all the matches, and it's like VAR. And it's like, when will it end? You know what I mean? But listen, just to wrap the Man United Arsenal, listen, as I said, United have been doing well. Props to them. May the run continue, obviously, for Nick and, other United fans. And the one United fan that never comes on his podcast and is always gassing up in a group chat. Yeah, I hope you're watching this. Yeah, you're a pain. You're a pain. But listen,
he knows who
he is. But listen, they won. Well done to them. And listen, it's all about how Arsenal bounce back, and that's the main thing. We knew Arsenal were never going to stay unbeaten. I think it's with Arsenal United, and you guys will agree, is that it's a social media banter thing. It's like, if you lose to anyone else, you can wrap it up. We've lost. I forget about it, we move on. But when it's Arsenal United, it's like, AFTV and chill. United view and chill. And it just gets you.
Yeah.
You go on Twitter as an Arsenal fan just to browse something else, and it's like, Arsenal this, Arteta out.
It's all over my feed, bro. All over my feed. I hate it.
It really bugs you. But listen, it is what it is. I feel like the way we perform kind of gives me hope that we will bounce back. And yeah, listen, United have every reason to be positive as well. But listen, let's see what happens. I mean, Arsenal.
Who have you got next?
Everton at home. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to say on this podcast.
That's a hard game.
We ain't losing to Everton at the Emirates. It don't happen.
It's going to be hard because they're Everton are desperate.
No, it's not. I'm not having it. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying you won't definitely win, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as you think it is.
We're smacking minimum 3 past them, quick team.
Listen, we need to. Listen, I want the players to come out angry.
Trust me.
Like, we've got a job to do. Like, I want to wrap up in the first half done.
Yeah.
I don't want no stress. Do you get what I'm saying? Because Everton are dead, bro. Without Gordon, who are they, bro? They're nobody.
It's true. But you don't say that now. Watch Iwobi going to come cut in top bins. You know what's going to happen.
It will be. Everyone.
It's happening. I think, Nick, who you look got it? Palace, isn't it? Away.
After Europa League, yeah. We've got Palace away, Leeds home, and City away.
that game.
Palace is going to be hard.
So got Palace and then who?
Palace away, Leeds home, then City away.
If you get 6 points, so at least minimum 6, then I look at it and go, all right, cool, United. But that Palace away game is going to be
very difficult. I'm very worried about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sorry, guys, before we move on, sorry, I know I keep saying it. Something that's been bothering me. This whole thing, like when people say, "Oh, Arsenal hadn't played anyone and they were gassed up and this and that, and now you play real opposition, you lose." I don't know how you guys feel in it, but I was saying, like, let's respect the teams that Arsenal beat first of all, right? Palace away, the same Palace that drew with Liverpool, right, at Anfield, should have won, as we saw. Fulham again drew at Liverpool. The Tottenham game, they put up a fight. They're a decent side, right? I'll give the Bournemouth and Leicester, cool. I'll give people that, right? Not all that good. Villa, cool, but the Palace and Fulham, look and go. People ain't respecting some of these Prem teams, you know, because I'm telling you now, there's going to be other Prem teams going to slip up against them. Then it'll be the whole, oh, yeah, no, you know what, we had a couple of people out. And just, what do you lot think?
No, I agree, man. I agree. I mean, there's no easy games in the Premier League, bro. There's no easy games. But it's for last season, we would have lost to some of these teams, and we wouldn't have that bounce back ability. We didn't have it last year. And it would have been a desperate attempt to try and win the game. We've got all that attack, putting a caught on the counter. But now I feel like we're controlling games a bit better. There are times where we do lose control a little bit, but we definitely improved so much. And that's purely, I've got to say, purely starts from Jesus. The mentality is brought, and Zinchenko as well. It's that champion mentality, man. I don't know what it is, but you can see like it's lifted the whole club, kind of thing. Like they don't get frazzled in it when they go down or whatever. It's okay, cool. You pick your heads up, go again. Because look, every time we've gone behind against those other teams, we've scored within that 3 or 4 minutes just to level the game, and then that team heads drop, and then we just go for the jugular. Last season that wouldn't have been the case, and then the fact that people are disrespecting Fulham and Palace and all that stuff, mate. Listen, go chat to Liverpool, go chat to Man City. How they do against them, man?
Exactly.
Nah, bro, he ain't a joke out here, bro. It's not a joke. Like all these teams, everyone can beat everyone. That's the beauty of this league, man. So if you manage to pick up points against anyone, well, you should celebrate that, because it's not easy. Richard Keys, you should celebrate that.
I was about to do the Richard Keys face.
Can't stand that. Can't stand it.
We're not going to get into that because we'll be here for ages talking about that. But listen. Before you know, I just want to talk. Want the people to know our opinion on this whole VAR saga. Like some of the incidents I didn't see. I was literally finished up at the gym and I was getting all these highlights come through my phone, and I was just literally watching. I was like, oh, must have been a goal, ruled out. Oh, Newcastle Palace, must have been a goal, ruled out. I was like, what is going on? What do you guys think? Let's start with the West Ham Chelsea one.
To be honest, I can't remember the other ones, but I do remember the Chelsea West Ham one. Yeah. I thought the West Ham one was kind of similar to Martinelli, when if you kind of freeze frame it, you kind of see his leg is kind of left at Mendy's, and you think, okay, well, technically he did kind of touch him, but no, it wasn't a foul, was it? It was very soft again, like Martinelli's. It didn't change anything about it. Obviously, it did change something about the goal because Mendy milked it and he started rolling down on the floor. He could have, obviously, otherwise he could have stayed up and tried to save it. So, but no, that was definitely not a foul. It was way too soft. And haven't they come out already and said, was it PGMOL? I can't remember what they are. Yeah. They've already said that they've made a couple of mistakes, that being one of them, I think. Definitely not a foul, way too soft, similar to kind of Martinelli's situation. Technically, did touch him, did push him, but like as Amit said, it's not it's a contact sport, and as long as it's not over the top or it's in the back or anything like that or in your shins, just let it play, man. Just let it go. But no, that was an awful. And I feel sorry for West Ham. Like, even though I don't really like them as a team, like they're near the bottom, and you think, like, you look at the last couple of results, they've been very unlucky, and they've started to do well now, so they'll come good. But yeah, I mean, I can't stand Chelsea as well. So yeah, I was hoping that they would drop some more points, and West Ham definitely were pretty much cheated out of that. I mean, they should have definitely got a point from there. Yeah, but I don't remember the other ones. Remind me of the other incidents.
So the Newcastle Crystal Palace one was when Joe Willock was pushed in the back by Tariq Richard, and when he was trying to head the ball, and they gave the they gave the. I think I'm not sure if the ball went in the net, but it should have been essentially should have been a pen. It should have been a pen.
I saw the Everton one as well with Cody. I remember that one as well with Cody. And,
Yeah, I mean, look, all in all, let's just put it, say as it is. Like these referees are becoming lazy. They are not willing. They're not willing to accept the consequences or stand by their own decisions. So if they go to, like you look at Portini, like is it Portini? No, not Portini. Sorry, the who was it that they overturned the decision? They overturned the decision. No, they stuck by the decision for a penalty. And essentially he went to VAR to review it, and they showed it in slow motion, the handball, but they should have shown it in real time, really, because the ball came at him at such velocity. The player couldn't move his hands away. There was no choice, but he still stood by it. And then I commend him for standing by his original decision, but essentially it was the wrong decision. Do you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of like they were wrong in both ways. But with the Newcastle one, that should have been a pen. The thing is, like I said, the referees are getting lazy, and they are relying on VAR to make decisions for them. They need to just stand up for themselves, man. Be like, listen, this is my decision. I don't need your input. I'm done. Okay, that's it. Keep the game moving. Because look, these decisions are taking 5-6 minutes to come up with. If it's 5-6 minutes, you still be getting the decision right at least. You know what I'm saying? You're still getting it wrong.
Do you guys watch football abroad, like Spain and Italy?
Yeah.
And see how they kind of do VAR. Do they do it better than us?
Yeah, but I've been no, they do it better. But you know what? Like, Amit made a valid point. It happens in every league. They go to the screen, whatever. But I find that in different leagues, it's they've looked at it, cool, decide that's happening. This league is like they're looking over it, keep looking over it, and the reason why they make decisions is annoying me even more. Like I watch, you know, when I watched Isaac last week against Liverpool, was offside by. What was it? Well, you know, when they showed it. And sometimes I think they're just changing the line. Like, I'm watching, I'm like, that wasn't off. And you watch again, and the line suddenly got a little bit of an angle. I'm like, now stop it. Like, how? Because you got to imagine, Thierry Henry and them, man, would not survive in this league. Because that off-the-shoulder run, that's offside straight away. So, you know, remember Henry used to peel off, and he's gone. You can't do that. And I just feel like sometimes you have to give the benefit of doubt to the striker. I think that's just it, as we said, clear and obvious. If it's like a whole leg offside, like the whole stride, then yes, that's cool. But when you're talking about I'm size 11, the defender's size 9, and my top, come on, like seriously.
Yeah, I mean, just man, the VAR is taking the spirit of the game out. Do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm not here to see a 0-0, bro. I don't care about 0-0. I want to see a 5-3. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a 4-2. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see 0-0s. I want to see as many goals as possible because that's what I pay my money for. You know what I'm saying? So, Nick, you go to lower league football, to watch Charlton. You go see Charlton. If you see lots of 0-0s, you're thinking, why am I travelling the depths of the country far and wide to see 0-0s? Because the advantage is not for the attackers, it's for the defenders. Like, come on, man, don't spoil the game. It's
the
already
standard of refereeing in League One is poor. Like, it's really bad, but at least there's like, you know, they've got the kind of balls to make decisions because they have to, because obviously there's
but okay, Nick, you say
it's more flowing. It is more flowing.
You say it's poor. You say it's poor in lower league, but don't you expect the Premier League to have elite refereeing decisions?
100.
That's not the case.
I personally think that with offsides, I don't know if it may be a bit too much, but I think they should just judge it by the foot. And if your kind of chest is kind of leaning over, unless maybe you score a header and your head's offside, maybe that could be an exception. But I feel like if you're like you said, like Henry off the shoulder, if your arms are ahead,
you can't score with your arms.
You can't even score with your arms.
Exactly.
I think if they made that kind of quick change, maybe they just disregarded arms and like allowed everywhere else head, chest, or not that your chest would be ahead, but you know, your head and your legs. It just allowed the arms. I think that would make such a big difference because, like I said, if you hit it with your arm, VAR is going to give, and you score with it, give it a handball, innit? So it's like irrelevant. Don't use the arms. And I think a lot of the times the arms are kind of like, and the shoulders are kind of like the part of the body that's kind of in an offside position, and it's really, really silly.
Yeah, no, I was saying before, I just feel like they should. We'll talk about the standard referees in Spain, Italy. I think they should do a trial. They should get English referees, send them to another country, go and do a full season there. Bring us some hardcore, you know what I mean? Them Kalina type referees.
I was just about to say, do you remember Kalina? He's the best referee I've ever seen. That guy never made a mistake. Never made a mistake, bro.
Man gives you a yellow, you're standing like this, and you're like,
It's scary,
ref.
man. It's scary, bro.
You know what I mean? But I
These big eyes, yo.
Yeah, you know, them
elite referee.
Them eyes. But I think they should do a trial where send some English referees over to another country, Italians maybe here, Spanish here, you know what I mean? And kind of do it that way. Because maybe the English referees would learn something new that way and then, you know, bring it back over here after a season or two. You know what I mean? But I don't know what you lot think.
I'd love that.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I never thought about it, to be honest. I mean, it'd be, but then maybe like when you see Champions League football and you see kind of these kind of other refs, not English. I don't know if it's so much these days because, you know, I don't know, maybe it's changed. But I've always found, this Spanish ref, this Italian ref is stopping the game too much. He's giving away too many fouls. It's not flowing as much. I found that before. I don't know if it's so much these days, but even so, if it's a foul, it's a foul. So I think, like, for example, if there was an Italian or Spanish ref for the Arsenal United game, they definitely would have. Definitely, even though it was already given that Ericsson as a foul, they probably would have pulled it up, as Amit said, when it happened. Rather than going to VAR.
That's what you
you definitely. Like it's killing the game because, like, you go through, you've got that elation of scoring a goal. You're away from home, or home, whatever, and that just gets murdered. And even as much as I was so happy it happened, it happens to every team. So when it happens to you, it's like it's. There's so many times now when a goal has scored, like I think it was the last goal where it was kind of like borderline 2 offsides, and I was like, but is it going to be offside? Let me wait. Is it going to? No one wants that in this game, bro. No one wants that.
I'm just going to celebrate and move on.
You know what? The whole. It reminds me. I think the worst case I saw was the Sterling one. Sterling versus Tottenham. I'll never forget it.
Champions League.
The way he celebrated. And I can't imagine being a City fan going. There's not many of them. Let's just add that as well.
Very true.
Apart from that random one, we know Amit. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that guy.
But yeah, I can imagine like you're going mad as a fan, thinking final, swinging at semi-final, and then imagine they're going like this. Wow, that I think Sterling said in an interview. I think that was one of the worst months of his career. Like he went mad, and then obviously
it's a killer, man.
It's painful. But you know what? Listen, hopefully, like I know they've had the talks, and hopefully it sorts itself out and whatnot. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. What I was going to say, so we've got Everton, Man United, got Brentford. So Nick, so we're saying out the next 3 games, how many points are you thinking? 9? And I'm a bit you got City, right? Is that away from home?
Yeah, I think we'll draw against Palace. I think we'll beat Leeds, and I think we'll lose to. I think we'll get 4 points. So if we get 6, so basically if we beat Palace and Leeds, and then obviously you never know, we could get something against City. We've done it. We tend to get results against City at the not the Emirates. What's the stadium called? Etihad. Yeah. We tend to get results at the Etihad, but that's when Oli was in charge, and counter-attacking football kind of obviously suits us. So I'd say 4 points we're going to get. I'll be very, very happy if we get 6. Very, very happy.
And Amit, we've got what? Arsenal got Everton. I think they've got Brentford. And then Tottenham. Spurs. What do you think? How many points out of that one?
Brentford fire as well.
We're at home, we Spurs. Yeah. I'm not scared of Brentford. I'm not scared of them. But they're away. It's going to be a tough game. I think we'll beat Everton. Tough because we draw Brentford. And then I think we'll beat Tottenham. It's at home, man.
I think draw, win. I think you're going to get 5 points. I've got a feeling about Everton. Even though you should definitely win, I just got this weird feeling about them. I think draw, win.
I think, and
it wouldn't be terrible.
I'm wild. I think we're going to get 9 from 9.
3 of those, yeah. Okay. 3 of those, yeah. 3 W's.
I just think if things go according to plan and people don't pull up with a fake Thomas Partey injury, the thigh again, I think we should beat Everton. Our record against Everton at home. I can't even tell you the last time Everton beat us at Emirates. That's how long it's been. Brentford away.
Steven Pienaar.
The Dink, yes.
Remember?
And that annoying celebration. Yes. That's the one. But
snowy conditions, I remember.
It would be tough. But listen, if we're talking about top 4 and we're really on it, I don't want to hear about go Brentford draw. We need to beat Brentford. Like,
Yeah, we need to listen. I'm not denying that. But on paper, we should win. We should beat them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're away. They always bounce, man. They love it. They love a home fixture. That's gonna be tough.
No, it's true. It's true. And obviously, last minute before we wrap up, I just want to we're gonna do a special mention. I want to 2 players I'm gonna big up this weekend. We're gonna do Haaland, 10 goals already. Like, bro,
Joke.
It's a joke thing. Mine is a lab experiment. Man. You know, one of them ones you do the lab experiment. The guys burst out the lab. I'm a footballer, you know, bro. Go back in, man. Like, we can't have that. It's mad. Honestly, it's too easy for him. And the second one, Ivan Toney. I know there's certain people, and once again, I'm going to call out this person. He's also in the group chat that we have. He's not a fan of Toney, always dissing him. Listen, when I saw that hat trick, I went, nah. He's a baller. Like, he don't get enough respect at all, Ivan Toney. And he's the type of striker Chelsea should have gone for. You know, they didn't ask for something like that.
Yeah, you know that. Good shout.
Perfect.
Great shout, in fact.
Sterling. I don't know who do they play on the left or right. I can't remember. Is it not Sterling? Is it Ziyech or Pulisic? One of them. But regardless, if you have Toney up top, that would be a potent front three.
They got Oba now. Swag.
Everyone must think, what you like doing? If you don't know what it is, go on YouTube, just type. You don't even have to type Oba, just type swag. SW.
Swag.
Swag. You know what I mean? But listen, lastly, Nick.
Let's do it.
FPL. I know you're dying to tell us about your FPL points. Look, go on. Tell us
how. No. My FPL is terrible, bruv. I mean, I'm on my head to head.
Your points were good this week. Your points were good.
It was average, but
what'd you get this week, Nick?
Sorry, say it again.
What'd you get this week?
I did poor. I got 44.
Still more than me, bro.
That's dead.
Yeah, it is dead.
Sorry,
man.
Sorry.
I got 88 last week. What did I say to you last week, Matt? I said to you that I would get...
You said 70, I think it was?
Yeah, and I ended up getting 88 points, and I needed that. I mean, I'm still doing overall not that great, but...
Oh, what did I get? What did I get?
Lucky.
That week.
This guy.
Less than
what did I get that week?
You got more than me, yeah?
Wait, I don't know. Was it 91?
Yeah. I got 93 at the end.
Man, keep it as 91, man.
It's alright, though.
I
But it is what it is, isn't it? I can't lie, bro.
You know what's so funny? You two are the two as well, where, I mean, obviously, we know everyone was on your case, whatever. Now you're doing well. And then I look at Nick. Now, Nick last season will be like, yo, Matt, listen, £5 says I beat you. £5 says I get more points than you. And he peppered me last season. He did.
Yeah, no, listen. Nick's a good player.
I think I'm a bit inconsistent. I can do well, but I'm finding I'm a bit inconsistent. And
yeah,
I need to up my research, like to yours and the other guy does always amazing in
I never do research, Nick. I'm like you. I don't do research. Yeah. I just go on my gut.
I don't like 1 or 2 weeks ahead, but I feel like to be that level, you need to go 4 or 5 weeks ahead. And I think
elite level thing, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Elite level thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
But listen, what we said. So, how many points are you going to get this week? Oh, I wanna hear it again. Where's the positivity? I don't want to hear 93 and all that.
Wait, let me look at my team. Well, I'm looking at my team right now. Hold on.
And before we go, man, I want to do that combined 11, bro. It'll only take us 2 minutes, yeah? 2-minute job.
What you want to know about? What you want to say? Who you put your combined Man United and
Man United Arsenal 11. Let's agree to an 11. That's
I think
based on this season's form.
Right. By the way, I'm going for like 60 odd points for me. Yeah?
60. I'm with you. I mean, same, roughly about that amount. Roughly.
I'm gonna go 60. I've got 2 transfers to make, and I need to beef up my midfield. I'm gonna get rid of a defender, Diaz, 6 million, free up some cash. I might put a Man United defender in there, Varane, who's only 4.8, and then beef up the midfielder a little bit because I'm good in defence.
4.8? No way, that's all right.
That's mad, isn't it?
And Martinez and Manasseh are like 4.5, 4.4. Like all of them are cheap.
No way, Manasseh's all right. I like Manasseh, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so quickly. What we're looking at the time? All right, we give ourselves about 3 minutes. We'll go a combined Man United, Arsenal 11. This is for all the viewers that are thinking, you know, with me and Amit are biased or Nick is biased. So let's finish on this. Yeah.
Whoever gets the most votes out of us three, we get that position. Even though it's 2 Arsenal against Man United. I know you guys are honest, so let's just do it that way.
All
Go
right.
on.
So well enough. Let's all. Okay. I'll say goalkeeper.
Ramsdale.
De Gea.
I'm gonna go Ramsdale.
Okay.
As well. So
Ramsdale
Ramsdale for that. So how are we gonna play? Back four?
I was going to do back 4, 3 centre midfielders, 3 forwards. It don't matter about the CDM.
Safe.
Just
That's
do
fine.
centre midfield.
So we've got back 4, right back.
Dalot. Based on this season.
I've got Dalot this year.
I'm
been
in
very
agreement
good.
with that. Even on my TikTok, I said Tommy Asu. I love the guy.
No, that was gassed.
I love Tommy Asu too much.
He ain't played yet.
That's true. But
Literally based on this season only.
I agree.
Yeah, Dalot. Dalot's done really well.
Now let me go left back.
Malacia.
Zinchenko.
I would have gone Malacia until Saka smoked him this weekend gone. So I'm a just go Zinchenko. I like Malacia. I'm a big fan. I think Zinchenko just. Back 2.
I'll go Saliba and Varane.
I agree with that.
He's come in.
Saliba. Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Martinez was close, but I'm going Varane and Saliba because Varane
would do that.
he does it without any effort. He does it. It's like reminds me of Rio.
Yeah.
He's just effortless with his defending. Martinez is like the Vidic, innit? And he's like full on balls
They
in.
complement each other very well, very well.
Yeah, but Varane Saliba for me as well. Yeah.
Midfield 3. So let's say we go with who will be our holding.
Xhaka, if he's holding. I'm just going to tell you my 3. I've got Eriksen, Bruno, Xhaka. That's who I've gone for.
I'd go.
I think that's quite
Odegaard. I'd go Odegaard.
Yeah.
Xhaka, and probably Bruno. You know, I think Bruno's done really well with that Ronaldo band.
Mate, Eriksen he's been elite for us.
I'm not denying that. I think Odegaard's been brilliant.
I'll go Odegaard.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Odegaard, Xhaka, Eriksen. I feel like Eriksen. We're gonna go to the last 3 minutes. I just feel like you saw in the Arsenal game. He's got that. You know when you need that player that gets that ball that just takes through the midfield. He's got that. He's knocker and he's phenomenal.
On the half turn as well.
Half turn, love it. Beautiful, good delivery as well. Good delivery. All right, front 3. We're gonna start with the right of the 3.
Right of the.
It's hard because who's United's right side at the moment?
I've got 2 Arsenal players, 1 United. I've done.
I'd go. Okay, look. I'd go Sancho. You know, go Sancho on the right. I'll take Martinelli on the left and Jesus up top.
That's exactly what I thought as well. I've written it down on my computer, so I've literally matched your team, mate.
You know what? It makes me laugh because I'm watching this. I was like, man, I must have been high when I did my TikTok 11, boy, because I put Saka in there. But you know what is with Saka? Like, he's got all great movement and all that, but when he's got that chance on goal, it's just over the bar and
shoot properly.
He just doesn't have it. So yeah, I'll go the same. I'll go Martinelli on the left to cut in. I'd go Jesus up top and Sancho on the other side, definitely. Sancho, you know what? Sancho, I just want more from him though. Like I know he's United.
Yeah, man.
He's slowly getting there though. But he definitely needs to do more. But he's getting there.
He just needs to be covered. But no, all right, cool. So we agreed on that team. No, decent team. So
that was quite quick actually.
You know what? I actually want to add as well. Like,
I've been
so impressed with. I know it's a bit off topic, but I think Martinelli is absolutely amazing. Like I think he's so good. Like obviously, I know with the Greenwood situation, like I spoke to you last week, Matt. But that aside, if you're just looking at that, the talent, we've always kind of said you said Martinelli, I said Greenwood, and I feel like they're both. Like at the time that Greenwood was playing, and like I feel like he was getting better under Ronaldo until we went. Obviously, he got arrested. So I feel like they're both so good, and it's a shame that Greenwood did what he did, but. Martinelli is like I watched him play and he's deadly. Like he's really
I've seen him step up. I can physically see him step up.
Suddenly,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He looks stronger. He looks more aggressive.
How old is he?
I think that.
How old is he?
Mate, 21, 22?
Yeah.
Can't be more than 21.
I think what I love about him is that, you know, sometimes you see a club buys a player from, like, let's say, where we've got a Brazilian B or C league, it's one or whatever. Then I think that's about it's one. And you think, you'll be in and out, come like a Wellington Silver. You know, you remember? And you start to think, cool. Because when Martinelli first started, he was just head down, ran. But now, suddenly he's filled out, head up, crossing the ball, can finish. Look at the finish, for example. 1-on-1 De Gea, you're under pressure, centre back, dink. So now I'm looking positive. And listen, I know in my other podcast I said 15 goals for Martinelli in the Premier. People laughed at me, but listen, 12 to go, he could do that. He got 12, he's got 3 already. He could do it.
Yeah, I agree.
But listen, boys, once again, it's been a pleasure. You know, Nick, enjoy it. Don't be coming with that scoreline again. Enjoy it, Nick. Enjoy it. But as I said, I'm keeping this because when the reverse fixture comes,
I haven't been too bad, man. Come, you can go for the other guy in the group.
So that's
go for me a little bit, but more for him,
And I hope you're watching it, that other guy. Yeah, I ain't bringing you in like that. Too hype for no reason. But listen, boys, it's been a pleasure. Love. You know, we'll be back with another one soon. Appreciate it. Guys, don't forget, subscribe. Back in the net YouTube. Back in the TikTok. Listen, I'm going to be abusing it.
Do
Instagram.
it.
I'm all over.
Subscribe.
Get on there, man.
Subscribe, follow. I'm out.